And this is how it's done. This is how we do it. Vincent City, Alabama just showed the rest of the United States how to deal with 1 ounce of racism within its police department. And they walked them right out that door. They sure did. Baby, yes, they did. They did that thing. They did that thing.
Yes, honey, they did do that thing. This is absolutely a rare occurrence in cities, especially in Alabama, which was the 4th state to secede from the Union, by the way. Here's how things started. If you hadn't heard, a small town named Vincent in Shelby County, Alabama, just saw its entire police force suspended after the assistant police chief texted a racist joke to his fellow officers. He was 33% of the force and somehow thought he could get away with this. It's that patriarchal take what you want attitude that harkens to way back in our history. It was a jab at black women who, at least in Alabama, now have no autonomy over their reproductive choice after rape or incest. It was degrading the personhood of black people, saying the life of the unborn is already predetermined by white men and they don't even have to purchase the kid. The City Council of Vincent found it reprehensible and swiftly put together a resolution to terminate the whole police force after the incident and filed official complaints to the Alabama Ethics Committee for further adjudication. Wow. Now they're holding a community forum tonight to determine whether the police force should be dissolved, staffed with better people, or the suspended cops should return to their jobs. The council will likely decide after the forum, and I think this is a democratic way to handle the situation, because after all, this is a decision that affects everyone's safety. But I suspect the city council is inclined to fire some cops. This has been an incredibly expedited process, and I applaud it. Even the slightest racist behavior, like a private message, demonstrated to the council that not all community members were going to be treated fairly or protected the same by these cops. And that's not okay. Now, I'm not sure if every mayor has the authority to fire entire police forces, but Vincent's mayor allowed 1 cop to resign like a coward and suspended the other 2 with pay, which in my opinion is not the strongest message of zero tolerance. Also, the city attorney ruled the suspended officers cannot be terminated, which I guess is just an opinion given the cops' future is still undecided. But man, we've seen this game before. Mayors handling rogue police forces with kid gloves and prosecutors in bed with the cops. And in small town Alabama, I wonder how threatened these cops feel. It is still possible that the almost 400 black residents of Vincent are likely not going to see any more justice for the intentional, spiteful language used by their police. I ask you, mayors and prosecutors, is not having a police force worse than having one that you know will not prioritize your life if you're in danger? I know many would reflexively say yes, but if you're black in this country and you see an entire party in the news and on the ballots that tells you racism is over and stop complaining.
Our systems are not racist. America is not a racist country.
Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country.
And your local police force is making ignorant, berating insults against your race in a very conservative state that likely would not make an example of unacceptable cop behavior. I imagine you don't feel safer with those guys around. I understand mayors are fighting for power with police unions across the country, and I believe police unions should have diminished power by removing qualified immunity and implementing independent investigations of police malfeasance, but the biggest help, especially in smaller cities like Vincent, is to make sure cops at every level are trusted by all members of the community first and are engaged with community events and getting to know their neighbors. Make sure they're from the community. We just need to reform our precincts so they stop attracting the tough guys with a grudge and the shoot first, then assess types, because I believe there's a connection between police malfeasance and racist tendencies. I'm going to keep track of what happens with this Vincent, Alabama police force today and tomorrow. Hopefully, justice prevails and another example is set that racist tendencies will not permeate a police force because they took an oath to protect their community, not just the white people. You should follow this story too.